Someone once told me the grass was just greener on the other side. Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube. Also I apologize if my hair is a bit of a mess. I kind of want to do that intro, and also, yeah, my hair's a mess. I actually combed my hair before this, and then I was setting up the camera as I normally do on my show, and also, I'm very overdue for a haircut. Quarantine time has not been so kind to me or my hair. My hair mostly because I tend to get my hair cut like around every 2 months or so. I'm already entering month 3 with my current hairstyle. I would have already gotten one ironically now because I was going to graduate, and I'm not graduating physically anymore, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyway, so this week, on this special episode of What's on the Tube, we're currently in a bit of a break on our usual scheduled time slot, considering the fact that our next show that we're going to be reviewing every episode will be starting up next week. However, I do want to talk about some other shows that I believe deserve some time in the spotlight for a little bit and give my thoughts on it. And there is this one show I've been wanting to talk about forever. I literally watched this moments before I started What's on the Tube. It was last fall. I was very, very bored. Classes were about to start up again, and I didn't want to entirely start a whole new big show. But then there was this show that was like, I knew it because of its unique art style when I was seeing it as a kid, but I never fully watched the whole show of it because it was just too weird for me. But it was a standout art direction that when it comes to art direction and animation shows, every show has its own unique flavor. But generally speaking, there usually is like okay, I can get behind this, or at least this looks normal enough for me to watch. And then there comes a show where it's like the art style is just, you know what, it's just not pulling me into it. And I was a kid, and I was watching a ton of animation growing up, so I didn't really have time for every single show that Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or Disney did back in the day. And one of the shows I skipped over was As Told by Ginger. And now, having watched the show, I feel like right now it was worth it for me to watch the show recently than had I done it when I was a kid. Because watching as a kid, there was a certain life things you would have to go through. And I think when the show came out, I think I was still in elementary school. This was a show mainly set in the preteen years. I was going to say pre-pubescent, but I can't speak English. That was something that I didn't really get into. Again, it's another weird thing because I got into Ned's Declassified, which was another Nickelodeon show, which is set in middle school. So, anyway, I'm an idiot. So, generally, it was the art style that kind of pushed me away from watching that show growing up. And then, recently, back in September, I watched the show fully, and despite the art style taking some time to get used to, the show was great. It really was. I felt like at the time period, considering all the other shows Nickelodeon had on their network, it's a standout. And I really, really wish it would have gotten more love. It had more story to tell. It had more to do and say. And sadly, because of ratings and that sort of thing, and when you're going up against SpongeBob SquarePants and the Fairy Odd Parents at the time period, there's just no competition. As Told by Ginger did not have a chance of surviving that long. It really sucked, and I really, god damn it, I'm really disappointed. I would have loved to see more. I would have loved to see the entirety of Ginger's life, because without spoiling things for the finale, the way the finale ends, oh my god, I want to know what happened here. I want to know what happened in between, because I'll say this, the finale ends in a time jump. I'll say that. So it baffles me that there's this great story with actual character development in an animation show, which came way before the era of the 2010s, where we got Gravity Falls and Steven Universe, and even newer shows like Infinity Train and stuff like that. We had shows that animated show that were just slapstick comedy. It's 11 minutes and you're out. As Told by Ginger, I think, was the first. It could have been I think, on the top of my head, I could be wrong. There's probably other shows out there like Codename Next Door and stuff like that told a story. You saw a change between the characters, and as you saw the 3 seasons, it just, why didn't they continue it? I mean, the time jump was like, I would have loved to know, because like from what I remember, I don't think they set up any of the elements that we saw in the finale. Like they did sort of speak, like, but it would have been awesome to see these characters grow up even more. So it could have been such a unique show, but damn, it didn't. And, okay, so let's get down to the show itself. I'm just like, I'm jumping way ahead of myself here. I really am. So we jump to, this is mainly focused on Ginger Foley, our main character. And let me tell you what, Ginger Foley, it's not your typical protagonist. Well, she is your typical protagonist. You know, she's not the most popular girl in school, but she has friends, and she has her own, like, her 2 girlfriends, and yeah, girlfriends is the correct term. Now, I guess, I don't know what the terminology was back in the preteen years of the early 2000s, because for me, I was a kid, so I didn't know anything until like 2008 and 9 and such. So this is basically her story about her going through changes in life, and it starts when the most popular girl in school takes notice of her. And I don't essentially believe in the course of the show they really become friends. I feel like she respects Ginger enough to kind of see her as like, here's an honest human being that isn't trying to kind of screw me over. And the thing about Ginger is that Ginger is kind of akin to, well, something like I would do. Like, I always give people chances. I always see the good in people, and I'm always trying to help. And I feel like Ginger does have her moments of like having enough of things when something gets, too pushed to shove. And actually, before I continue, I have one minor gripe with the show. And I'm sorry to say that. I know this is a very specific nitpick. So the one thing I have the problem is, again, the animation style is so different and unique compared to other shows. But the one thing that I really don't like, and I'm surprised I haven't done any sort of show on this before, is I do not like painted nails. I don't like when, like, I like it. It's respectful when they do it for fancy occasions, but I don't like it when females... Again, this is a very biased thing that I'm saying right now. I just don't like it when girls paint their nails. I don't understand that industry. I really don't. But then again, that's what they like, and I'm not going to criticize anyone. I have a friend who loves to paint her nails, so I'm not gonna pull her under the bus here. But anyway, so the way that in the show that the characters do actually paint their nails at times, but there are time periods where they don't. It's just very weird. It really is, and I don't know. It's like it's so off-putting because like the animation style is already so unique as it is. It's already so different, and it just I don't know. And it's a very small nitpick. I understand it, and again at the time period, I guess. It was a very... We were branching away from the olden days of how things were done, and then we were still getting into the modern tropes of middle school and high school, so I understand that, so... But anyway, so... Anyway, to get back to her point, like, Ginger... I don't really... Like, Ginger is the average girl. Like, she's going through typical stuff. She has her crushes. She has issues with her friends, and the one thing I felt like was so sweet was Daryl. Daryl just was a chill guy. He really was. Like, again, it could be because like I just did a Legend Talk episode about this. Actually, the last one I did about how why do people judge people by their looks, and Daryl is the complete example of that. Where Daryl has this brace piece that he puts around his face to kind of like keep his teeth like straightened out a little bit. It's like a very different story for braces. I don't know why he doesn't have braces, and he's not really accepted by the student body. So Ginger has kind of cultivated this little group of friends who are like, they're not the best to stand out in the crowd, but they're all likable. They're all like friendly, nice people when you get to know them. And as the show progresses, especially as there's actual time moving through this show. Like, season 1 is in 7th grade, season 2 is in the 8th grade, and season 3 is, like, the beginning of high school. And it's so cool to see that change, because, like, we get to see, that development where, let's just say, King of the Hill, which I know King of the Hill did start out with, aging up the characters, but then halfway through its run, they just kept the kids in middle school. Like, these kids should be in college by this point if we were still continuing that trope, but oh well. So, but anyway, it just really, it surprised me that there was a show about, in this caliber, that we were seeing these changes in these characters. We see it fairly, it's a slow progression of time, and you get the episode where it's just, your typical cartoon like shenanigans. But the episodes that really stand out in my mind was the episode where Ginger went away for a while. I'm thinking not the camp episode. I forgot there was a whole camping episode or a camping mini movie. I think it was. I don't remember what the runtime what that was. But anyway, so there was an episode where Ginger had to go away for a while. I think she transferred for a little bit, and then Daryl actually confessed his feelings for her. He discovered he had feelings for her, and just seeing that, Ginger has been looking for someone for quite some time, and he never really went anywhere. And the fact that she finally found someone in Daryl, it was amazing. It was amazing to see that and see that development. Like, oh my God, we're finally seeing this. This isn't like Timmy Turner pining for Trixie for like many seasons, and he barely gets anywhere. Even though I think the one episode, like, he actually does get her, he kind of, regrets it, I guess, from what I remember. I haven't watched Fairy Odd Parents like forever. I think the last time I saw there was a dog, and then there was another girl at the last season. I'm like, what you doing, Fairy Odd Parents? What you doing? Oh, I love tea so much. I needed that. Sorry about the ping. Anyway, that was an episode of Santa, and then season 3 really took the show in a different direction, where we saw Daryl grow out of the thing, and he was starting to like pulse through like what his parents or his father and his brother was kind of expecting him to follow, which was going to football. And also I apologize if I'm spoiling minor details about this. Is a show from like 16 years ago. You had your chance. Actually, I'll stop with the spoilers after the statement, but we got to see Daryl change as a person too. As again, I made this. I think I told this to someone recently, where if you're dating someone in middle school, it doesn't mean they're going to be the same person when they go into high school. High school is when you're like, so here's how I like to see things. Elementary school, you're a kid. You're just a kid. You're doing dumb, stupid kid things. Nothing really matters. Except making some childhood friends and stuff like that. Middle school, you're kind of in that stage where like you're growing out of your kid phase, but you're still not in the teenage phase. You're in that very weird bubble. So anything that happens, it just generally, it speaks that things are going to keep changing, and things are going to always, develop that you really wouldn't expect. Because again, you're still figuring yourself as a person. And that's what I'm praising the show about this, because like Daryl was a character that he did not fit the norm for that. But then when we saw him grow up and see him in high school, we got to see a whole new side of him, a different side of things. And it didn't really fit well with Ginger, because she was still the same. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but like she hasn't gone through her change yet. And the two were still technically dating. So, and the choices he made was like, okay, this is typical teenager stupid choices. I don't know why. But it was just, it felt really like, it felt natural, but it also felt like annoying for me, because in fact I've seen many people do these decisions. I'm like, oh my God, when will they ever learn? And yeah, I give them credit on that. And every other character like kind of had their own like development, whether it was a major development or a minor development. We got to see, sorry, I had a long day. But getting to see these characters actually grow up was something that actually, really sold me on the show. And it wasn't just, we had some adult characters too, like Ginger's mom, who was also a single mom. And not to say that like the father died or anything. It was just the father was just not suited to be an actual father. He just wanted to live his life, and he was now ready to be an actual father to these kids. And Lois is like one of the most honest to God mothers, where like she's a nurse and she's still working. Oh no, well, let me rephrase. She's a nurse and she's still a mother. She's doing 2 hard jobs as is, and she's working it. She's making it work, and getting to say. And another thing that I actually like, oh my God, this is like, because the thing is, another thing about animation is like they tend to keep the same like character model, so it's like it's just so easy to like, okay, trace this simple. okay, I promise I wasn't going to spoil anymore, but this is the last spoiler I make, I promise. We actually got to see, so she actually eventually finds a new person in her life, and she wants to get married with them, and she makes an actual commitment to lose weight before her wedding, and she manages to keep that. She actually lost weight before her wedding. We got to see a whole new character model. I'm like, my God, these people are putting in the work. They're actually putting some TLC into this show. Like, not just making this another typical animation show. And not to say, like, it's bad to be typical, like, just being soft silly, just having your fart jokes and making a very kiddie joke. That's fine. Those shows exist for a reason. The kids are meant to gravitate towards that, but there are shows out there like this that are sophisticated and actually telling a story and actually showing change. They're showing what a real human life period works. And I loved it. I love that aspect of the show. And the animation style aside, because that's like literally the only gripe I have with the show, because like it's nothing I'm used to per se, but also the fact that they actually embraced it, and at the end of like season 2, I kind of like accepted it and like, okay, I cannot see this show in any other style, and it just worked. It really worked. And again, I'm not getting into more specifics about this because again, this is meant to be a mostly spoiler-free review, and I think I'm still like on the coast of it. And there's still other characters too. There's Ginger's brother and his sidekick, which for some reason were like some of the weirdest duos, the weirdest duo I've ever seen in animation history. Where it's like these two should not be friends. They shouldn't, but they are. And the guy in the hoodie, yeah, fantastic. Oh, and I'm yawning again. Sorry, the guy with the hoodie. I forgot his name. It's been a while. I just want to hug him because like I don't know why like him wearing the hoodie like just makes him feel so comfortable. And I feel sorry for him because, like, something he goes through some BS that Ginger's brother, Carl, makes him do. And I really feel sorry for him. Also, they made the doghouse, like, an actual, like, secret base for them. I'm like, oh my God, these kids. Oh, I really wish I had, like, something like that growing up. I really wish. I think, yeah, without saying more, it's like, I still praise the show for what it did. I think it won some, I know it got nominated for Emmys, but I'm not sure if they won any Emmys, but it deserves Emmys. It really deserves, and in the age of revivals, this show has to be revived. Because, not for the sake of, like, just continuing the story where we left it off, it's like, there's just so much more potential here. There is. Well, I want to see the rest of the high school career. I want to see them grow up. Because high school was such an interesting part of my life where it's like, I definitely changed as a person and I grew as a person and I want to see these characters. Well, I wanted to see these characters go through that exact same thing. We got a small taste of it and then the show got canceled. Damn you, Nickelodeon. Damn you. Why? You canceled Fairy Odd Parents a year later and why? Why do you do this to me? Well, just why? Why? Why do you hate me? I mean, again, I know that wasn't kid me begging for it, but it was just like adult me kind of like grabbing for it. And I mean, this show is pretty awesome. It really is. I'm praising it to high hell, and I would love to do a spoilers review of it someday. It's just one of those shows. Like, man, you're gonna enjoy these 3 seasons. You will. The art style gets a bit of getting used to. It's common. It's gonna happen, but. Man, just the way that it did and the way the story was told is like, I wanted more of it. I really wanted more. Like, if they would have done 7 seasons, I would have fine with that. Just skip the college years because I think when I started to play kids, just kind of just phase out of the college section. But I don't know. Like, I really, really don't understand why Nickelodeon canceled the show. I know it was a ratings thing or probably a budgeting thing or something of the sort. I don't know. It's a shame that this show didn't like get a full run. It deserves a full run. It really does. Hopefully the creator's on Twitter. I'm gonna tweet her out. Tweet him or her out. I don't know who the creator is, but I'm gonna reach out. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But anyway, so I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. Without getting more into spoil. Again, I really recommend this show. I really do. As told by Ginger's. One of Nickelodeon's, it's a gem. It's like an unknown gem. It's like a show that doesn't get enough love, and I want to give it more love. It deserves more love. It deserves a season 4, and 5, and 6. And my tea is so hot. Anyway, so I think that's gonna do it for me. So my usual ranking system, I give the show 2 thumbs up. go watch it if you can. I have no idea where it is right now on the streaming services. I don't even know it has DVD releases. That's the thing. Like, I think one DVD release, which was like in that very weird like Nickelodeon style of anime. I have some of them in my collection. I'll show one day on camera someday. But anyway, so this was What's in the Tube from ActionX. So if you are unaware, this I lost my train of thought. If you want to know what we do overall on What's in the Tube, usually we do rookie episode reviews every Monday after a brand new episode. On Sunday nights on ABC, we do Katie Clean chapter reviews every Saturday after a brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW. However, coming up next on our Thursday time slot, DC Stargirl Let's Go, new series. It starts up next Monday on DC Universe, and it goes live the day after on the CW, which is a cool thing. So if you got the streaming service, you got a day before, and then you got the CW, you can watch it the day after. And then if you watch either or, you can come check my review on Thursday nights. It's good, or Thursdays. I don't know what times. It depends, like when I record these. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to start a whole new chapter. And if you actually have enjoyed my level of energy, hope I will be continuing that on that show too. So DC Stargirl starts on next week. It's a whole new show. Fresh episode 1. So if you're curious, you want to see me talk about it, go ahead. It starts up next week. But if you were only an Ass Told by Ginger fan and you were like, oh, finally someone's talking about this show, it's gonna be a while before I talk about it again because yeah, I got a lot of things on my plate already. Three, two, one. Maybe one day I'll do a spoilers review. Who knows? It depends on the feedback. It depends on my availability. Because I do not get paid by the hour, but my time is limited. But anyway, this was, again, What's on the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of What's on the Tube, please subscribe to ActionX on YouTube.com. And also ring the bell for notifications when we have a brand new episode live. And also like, favorite, share. It really helps us out if you want to. No pressure there, but it does really help us out. But you can also follow us on social media, on Twitter and Twitch. We post there, and I'll see. Well, I'll see the yeah. It's weird. Like I can't for the Ginger fans. Like I don't know. Like I don't know when I'm going to see you again. But if you're curious to see our other work, please check it out on our YouTube page. We got a lot of content, like a lot, like a lot more than Ass Told by Ginger, which is the last comment I'll make about this. Anyway, guys, stay safe out there. Hope all is well, and I'll see you guys whenever, or maybe soon. Peace out.